Most people think cruisers are crazy, but at the United States Sailboat Show in Annapolis, the cruising mindset is the norm, and we found ourselves surrounded by thousands of like-minded sailors and many of our personal sailing heroes.
Yeah, there were a lot of dusty, fiberglassy nights where your books were definitely the fuel to keep us going.
We started out fixing boats just like you.
So the goal here is for people to be able to have overnight air conditioning without running a generator. Whatever it happens to be, if it comes from your heart, that's the first element you have to add.
You should be nervous. It's a big deal. I mean, I still get nervous before every passage we do, and I do this all the time.
Previously on Project Atticus.
After spending 3 years refitting our fixer-upper sailboat, we left the United States with only $2,000 and the goal of working while we cruised. We made it as far as Isla Mujeres, Mexico, before we ran out of money and had to find work. For the next year, we did freelance boat repair jobs until we saved up enough cash to cast the lines and sail south to explore the Western Caribbean.
After many days at sea crossing the Caribbean, we finally made it to Bocas del Toro, Panama, where we will be preparing Atticus for our biggest challenge yet, crossing the Pacific Ocean. Everything's off except for the fridge.
Okay.
All the electricity.
So Atticus won't burn down?
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, you think that's it?
Hope so.
I don't know. This is so weird. I'm not used to this. Okay, time to lock her up. You look heavily laden.
Yeah. It feels so weird to leave Atticus.
Yeah?
I don't like it.
Where are we going?
We're going to the United States.
Yeah?
Woo! And we're going to hit up the boat show and then use it as an opportunity to bring back a bunch of materials and supplies for all the boat projects that we need to do here. So it'll be very productive, but
Say goodbye. We haven't left the boat in a long time.
I know. I think this is the longest we're ever gonna leave Atticus.
Yeah.
I feel really anxious.
Yeah.
Getting ready to board this teeny little plane, and we're heading to the United States because we were invited to guest speak at Lin Pardey's Cruiser University course about how to make it pay while you're cruising.
We're also helping with her book launch of her 3rd edition of Self-Sufficient Sailor, so that's exciting.
Yeah, travel time with the bud. We just checked into our flight, and they have this new like TSA procedure where they have to ask you a couple of questions. She starts off with, what are your hobbies? And we both looked at each other and we're like,
And I like got all sensual. I was like, well, I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah, and the lady's just like, oh my God. All right, well, we just got to the historic inns of Annapolis, and we're getting ready to participate in Lin Pardey's Cruisers University course.
So these are, welcome to your friends.
All right, my name is Desiree, and this is Jordan, and we're from the Sailing Channel Sailing Project Atticus. So we've been doing... Thank you.
All right, good morning. Welcome to our Airbnb in Odenton, Maryland, right outside of Annapolis. And this is where we'll be staying during the boat show. Got my dad here.
Morning.
Morning. And then CEO, Desiree's mother, is here. And then my mom is upstairs, still asleep. We're getting ready to head to the boat show this morning. Hey, morning, bud.
Morning.
Boy, that's a pretty spot you got there.
I know, so cozy.
Yeah.
You sure you want to live on a boat?
That's pretty nice. So you excited about the boat show?
Yeah, we get to meet bunch of people we've been reading about for a long time. Also, I'm so excited because we finally get to meet some of our viewers and patrons. We're usually out in the middle of nowhere by ourselves, just messing around, so we get to actually meet people who watch our videos. I can't wait. Bye, see you later. Let's go to the boat show.
Collapsing the... Yeah, make sure. Exactly.
It's chilly. It feels good to wear layers. Look, I basically have a blanket.
I know, get my jacket, I'm freezing. It's like the freaking Arctic Circle up here.
So today all the exhibitors are just getting their tents ready, and we're gonna be at the booth with Lin Pardey and Women Who Sail, and a bunch of other authors, which will be awesome. Hi, Lin!
Hey there!
So nice to see you!
It's good to
oh
see
my
you.
gosh!
So good.
We read your book right when we bought Atticus, and that kept us going through the refit.
Yeah, there were a lot of dusty, fiberglassy nights where your books were definitely the fuel to keep us going, so.
We started out fixing boats, just like you. And there was a boat jockey, and we found that we could work everywhere in the world. That was the neat thing.
Yeah.
It's always working out there.
Yeah, we read that in your books, but we were like, I don't know, maybe they're just special and we won't be able to do it. So we're really nervous, but then it finally worked out and we're like, phew.
Anyone who's willing to get their hands dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
It really can find work.
Cool. Well, thanks for having us.
Cool, let's meet people.
Yay.
All right.
Well, the show's not quite open yet, so this is the calm before the storm. So we're gonna try to get an interview real quick with Sailrite. I'm so excited. I love Sailrite. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
There he is.
How are you guys? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Good to
How
see
are
you.
you, man?
I'm here with Matt Grant, and he's the owner of Sailrite, so like the most badass guy in the world in my eyes. So I just want to ask, a lot of our viewers are getting into sewing, so what have you found is the biggest kind of obstacle that a lot of new people to sewing face, and how do you guys kind of help new sewers get over that initial hump?
Yeah. Well, great question. I think probably the biggest thing is that we want to make sailors and other people that want to sew comfortable with the prospect of how do you do things. So part of what Sailrite is all about is teaching DIY. You know what's really cool today when it comes to learning how to do anything, and I think it applies to everything, if it's plumbing, electrical, sewing on a boat, the most important thing you can do right now today is just go out and look for people who have done it. YouTube is fantastic because of the content that's out there, and then look around your marina, since we're talking the sailing industry here, see what other professionals have done and decide what you want to mimic and what you don't want to mimic, and be creative. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and when we bought Atticus, we knew we were going to do everything DIY and on the cheap, so I knew I had to learn how to sew, and so I literally binge watched Sailrite's YouTube videos until the point that I felt I could do it, and I learned everything from you guys, so
That's
you're
awesome.
amazing.
We love hearing that.
Okay, so now we got Caligo Marine, and John's over there. I want to chat with him. They do all kinds of cool synthetic rigging. They're working with Dyneema ducks, and we're going to hopefully work with them in the future. So I want to ask him a quick question. Hey, John. How are you? Jordan from Project Atticus.
Hey, Jordan. How you doing?
In your opinion, how do you think synthetic rigging is going to change the experience of the average cruiser in the next 10 years or so?
It's a good question. The big thing that always comes to mind for me is it's enabling. And I'll give you an example. For years, I cruised with my wife on a sailboat in Mexico. Double braid was the thing. You know, I learned really fast that double braid is not easy to splice. It's kind of humbling. When you take some single strand line like Dyneema and splice it one time, a very robust splice like a Brummel splice, first time I did it was 15 minutes. I felt like I got my manhood back, honestly. You know, but what I try to do to promote Dyneema for people is, no matter what they do coming out of my booth, I want them to go get a piece of Dyneema, maybe a 3/16 piece of Dyneema in a fit kit, and do a Brummel splice, and realize how rewarding that is. And now they can make a piece of something that's functional on their boat.
Do you feel that synthetic rigging in any way decreases a cruiser's risk of losing their rig?
Yeah, I think because of the full inspectability,
Okay.
for sure. You know, really, I mean, Dyneema, the 2 failure modes, chafe and UV, they both create visible cues. The line gets fuzzy.
Gotcha.
You know, so, and all you have to do is look. It's kind of hard to miss. You kind of have to work at it to miss it.
Right.
You know, so yeah, that visible cue thing is big.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, we're heading over to Delos' talk at the boat show, and we ran into John, and he's going to walk with us, and we're going to check out Delos together. And John's been watching our channel since day one, which is so
Thank
cool.
you, John. You're the man.
Yeah.
Free boating seminars. She's excited.
Okay, thanks so much, guys. It really humbles me to know that so many people would come on a Friday morning. I'm so sorry you had to wait. The topic today is about the cost of cruising. So actually what I really think that BOAT stands for is bring on another 1,000.
Okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
Getting to see Brian and Brady.
And there's so many people who watch YouTube. It's so cool.
I could not believe
Yeah.
how many people there were in
there,
that thing.
There were so many people they had to do the presentation twice.
Yeah, yeah, and they did not plan on doing it.
All right, guys, I'm here talking with Nigel Calder, who is basically the king of marine electrical systems, as well as one of the more accomplished cruisers that I've read about. How do you see the cruising sailor's life evolving in the next 10 years in regards to electrical systems?
Yeah, next 5 years.
Next 5 years?
Yeah, basically what we're getting is a ton of technology that is falling out from the automotive hybrid market.
Yeah.
So they're spending billions and billions on lithium-ion batteries. So we're getting the crumbs from that table. And then the consequence of that is the lead industry is getting nervous because 85% of lead goes into lead batteries. So they're spending a ton of money on R&D in a way they haven't done in decades. So we're getting a lot of interesting developments in the lead world.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're getting super high-powered charging devices, alternators and generating devices. And we're figuring out how to package all these things up so we get much more powerful electrical systems with less engine runtime. For basically 10 years I was working on what became this thing here. It's the integral system. It's an alternator. It's a hybrid alternator that combines automotive permanent magnet technology with a standard alternator. If you can talk about an average generator, it's probably 5 times more efficient. I mean, we're not talking small numbers.
Yeah.
And then you can pump a bunch of energy into a battery bank fairly quickly when you're underway. And then when you're at anchor, you can run air conditioning or whatever off the batteries without running a generator. And then the next day, within an hour or two, have restored all of that energy to the battery bank.
Yeah.
While they're underway.
Yeah.
And then they can do it again.
Wow.
And it works. I've had it on my boat for 3 years.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, that sounds fantastic because my wife and I live on a 30-foot sailboat, and we know all too well how amazing air conditioning is. And so the day where we might actually have that on a boat will probably be the best day of our lives. All right, so we just found the Mantis tent, and we've been in contact with the head guy here, Greg. So we're gonna see if we can't ask him a couple questions. Greg is with Mantis, which we think has been the single best piece of equipment we have on Atticus is our anchor. And so thank you for stopping our dragging problem. We appreciate it.
Glad it could be part of the solution.
Yeah. So we wanted to ask you, like in general, what kind of advice would you give to a long distance remote cruiser in regards to anchor size? And just in general, with any boat size.
Right, so obviously the anchor size varies with boat size, but we're really conservative in our recommendation. So our sizing chart is designed in such a way that we divide it into daily use, which is like under 30 knots, right? cruising, which we want to cover people up to 50 knots. And when we say cover, we mean assuming worst possible bottom, so soft silt. So the sizing recommendations could be overkill for good firm bottom, but we want to recommend assuming the worst possible conditions.
Yeah, because that's, I think, was our problem is initially we had sized our anchor for ideal conditions. And so that is the biggest lesson that we learned is if you're cruising hard and you roll up on that anchorage and that sun's starting to get low, you don't have the time to figure out where the best spot to drop the hook is. So that thing's got to go in and it's got to be good.
First time every time.
Yeah, and first time every time, there you go. Because we've been in multiple situations where we've got people dragging all around us and we're the only ones staying strong.
I'm glad that's the story I heard that from you.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Of course, Jordan, of course.
The Island Packet 349. They won the best boat of the year last year, and we've been really wanting to check it out. So let's go get a look. Nice.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Hey, bud, I don't think you fit in here.
Oops.
I think this would be the kid berth. I think one of their models, this goes all the way to the door. So you'd fit in that one. Oh,
That's
wow.
nice. Got the dedicated stall.
Dang.
Wow, that's a beautiful cabinet. Look at that with the cutout for the head. And the quarter berth, does it have several layouts or options?
No, that's what you see.
Gotcha.
Hey, this is great for kids. You can fit 2 kids in here.
Very nice.
So, are we gonna get an Island Packet?
I don't know about that, buddy.
38
Oh, which is nests.
Oh, it's like it's got feet.
Do you see this?
Is that the fridge?
I guess it would be the ice box, because I think this is a fridge freezer.
I think that's a freezer? Fridge freezer?
That'd be a huge freezer.
Yeah.
Maybe like a little pantry. Where's the engine? Aha!
Oh, yeah. This one. How's it feel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Stare with your feet.
There you go.
look at
That's
Jordan,
the
I
trick. Cool. What do you think, bud?
I really like it.
You gonna break out 300 grand? What's going on here, buddy?
Well, I guess it's the highest high tide in, I don't know, history. And so it just happens forever. And so it's happening right here in the middle of the boat show. So
Yeah.
people are just kicking off their shoes and wading through the water, and it's really funny.
Are you hopping in? Cooling off?
I think I'm good.
You're good?
Good to finally meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you too. Yeah. Yeah, we're so excited.
You guys are so much you're tall.
I know, right?
That's what I said, right?
Exactly.
Are people telling you you're tall? Because they're telling me I'm shorter
Oh,
than
man. Hi, I'm Desiree. Okay, yay!
So we got a quick second to come chat with Herb McCormick, and first of all, wrote an awesome book called As Long as It's Fun, all about Lin and Larry Pardey, which I highly recommend. Also editor at Cruising World. What are the main things that you're looking for that makes up a really good sailing story?
Authenticity is the very first thing. It's you can tell when someone has a passion to tell a story. And it's something that obviously is personal to them. And that means that something interesting happened, or something emotional happened, or something that touched you that you can then take and put on a page, that you can show your authenticity. And it can be anything, you know, it can be a night watch, it can be crossing an ocean, it can be your first sail, whatever it happens to be. If it comes from your heart, that's the first element you have to have. Then, of course, you have to have some skills.
You know, like nunchuck skills, bow hunting skills, computer hacking skills. Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills.
You know, you need to be able to write a little bit. And the only way people get to be good writers is writing. And the more writing you do, it's like anything else. It's like shooting free throws or playing hockey or football or whatever it is. You got to do the reps. You got to put the time in.
Well, thanks for giving us a moment of your time. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Jordan.
All right, buddy, where are we?
All right, we're at the Severn Sailing Association. We've got a little meetup with our patrons.
Oh, there's people over there. Let's go over there.
Follow the people. So I think we'll meet you guys
right around
upstairs.
the corner is the stairs, or right up. That's where your party is.
Yeah, that's
Okay, rock on. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming. It's been a mind-blowing last couple of days getting to meet people that, you know, we get to see in just text on a screen, really. And you guys have all been extremely encouraging over the last couple of months and years, and to get to actually meet you and to just feel the encouragement and the love has been moving, to say the least. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you for making our ability to make videos and tell stories possible. So thank you.
Yeah. Day 3, check out that line. It's gonna be crazy today.
Okay, so before the show starts, we're sneaking in a quick interview with Andy and Mia from On the Wind podcast, as well as 59 Degrees North. And we're getting to see their new boat, Ice Bear. Relatively new boat, Ice Bear.
New to us as of Friday.
That's right.
Cool.
Oh man, that's so
yeah, we officially own it now, yeah.
That's so exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to take up too much of their time, so we wanted to ask you guys, we are planning on crossing the Pacific this coming year. We've bounced around the Caribbean for a little while now, but never done anything like the Pacific. And so wanted to ask you if you had any advice for people who are new to ocean crossings. What would you say, you know, what advice would you give us?
I would say figure out how to manage your anxiety, because it's gonna be, like, you should be nervous. It's a big deal. I mean, I still get nervous before every passage we do, and I do this all the time. And that's, you know, the first couple days are gonna be uncomfortable. And whether you're seasick or not or whatever, you just gotta get to day 3. Day 3, start feeling like yourself, and, you know, pay attention and enjoy the moment. It's easy to get out of it if you're not feeling comfortable. And on the technical side of things, like, if there's anything at all you think the boat needs done, do it.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna lose sleep over it halfway across the Pacific, and you're gonna be like, damn, I should have done that.
Yeah.
So if there's anything at all that you're just in the back of your head, maybe we'll save that project for later, just do it now.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna help you sleep better at night.
And also I think the emotional roller coaster, you're gonna have your ups and you're gonna have your downs, and that's okay. And if you have your down, you know you're gonna climb up and have a really good moment, but then you're also gonna have some bad moments, and that's okay. And I think people get freaking out when they feel bad, like holy crap, and start questioning themselves, but that's just normal. I think everyone has that, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's super helpful, and thanks for all your advice and help, man.
Yeah, good luck. That's an awesome boat. I'll be following you.
Yeah, and if you guys don't listen to the On the Wind podcast yet, definitely do.
Do it.
It's helped us get through the boatyard, the refit, and a lot of our cruising. So thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate what you guys do.
Good luck.
Okay, we're in a random tent right now, but we are more importantly here with Lin Pardey. In your opinion, what are the biggest advantages and disadvantages for cruisers starting today compared to when you began?
Well, we did begin back in 1965, so things have definitely changed. And I'm still sailing now all these years later, so I'm out there able to see what's happened in this world. The biggest advantage and biggest disadvantage are the same thing. There is so much more available off the shelf to outfit your boat, to take on board your boat. Although it sounds like that makes it easier, I mean, we had to build almost everything we needed because none of it existed back then, which had a wonderful advantage in that we learned how to build things, we learned how to use them, and we didn't want as much because we didn't see as much to buy. All you need on board, besides, like I say, someone who's backing you up, watching your rear end, so to speak, You need a hull that's really leak-proof and strong. You need a rig that stands up. You need sails that go up and down. And you need a rudder that'll steer. And then you need beans and rice and water. You can go across an ocean with that.
What advice would you give to us for that first long-distance ocean passage?
I would say, remember, it's a sailboat. I know that sounds funny, but too many people turn on the engine the minute the wind drops below 4 or 5 knots of wind, instead of getting out those light nylon sails, keeping the boat moving, enjoying the best sailing in the world, which is when you're just meandering along at 2 knots maybe, and you'll come to realize that being at sea is not a scary place to be. Too many people want to get through the passage as fast as possible because they're actually afraid of being at sea.
Okay, so thank you very much for your time. And Lin just released the 3rd edition of her book, The Self-Sufficient Sailor. So we will link to that book in the description below. Check it out, go buy it, we love it, and as well as all of her other books. I mean, yeah, we've been
thank you.
So glad to get to meet you.
All right, well that was a fun and busy morning. We're actually on our way to do a little harbor sail on the schooner WOODWIND. So we're really excited. We're gonna have some of our patrons and viewers. I can't wait to get out in that water.
Before we get underway, I have some very important safety information for each and every one of you. Remember, on a moving vessel, always keep one hand for yourself, one hand for the boat, and one hand for your drink. You guys ready to go sailing?
Yeah! Alrighty, beer time, guys. You're on TV.
Right on.
So I'm hanging out here with some of my besties. We got Parker rocking the amazing hair. Can we get a close-up on the hair? Actually, look at that! Look at that transition. It's like Casey Neistat, but it's better. It's better. And then Tyler, we've just been trying to get him fired the whole time.
All right, we've got Liz.
Doug. Jerry.
Yeah, we've been having a good time out in the water.
Well, guys, thanks for coming. Then we've got these folks over here. These fine individuals. So we're gonna do 4 months of boatyard project videos just for this guy.
All right.
Ask and you will receive. That's wax on, wax on.
There were so many times during our refit and early cruising experiences that we felt like we didn't have what it takes to sail the world. But the lessons and stories that we heard from those who have dedicated their lives to inspiring other sailors encouraged us to keep going. It was an honor to meet these sailing icons in person, and the passion for sailing that we felt all around us has given us hope for the next phase of our own sailing adventure.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm hanging out here with this beautiful view of Panama City, Panama, in this awesome apartment. The really generous viewer, Hector Vega, let us stay here for a couple days on our way back to Bocas del Toro so that we could edit this episode in time before we get back to Bocas and start doing our boat projects. So thanks a lot, Hector. You are the man and you really helped us out a lot. But real quick, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a bunch of the amazing Project Atticus viewers that we got to meet at the Annapolis Boat Show. Guys, we had such a wonderful time getting to hang out with you, getting to know you guys, and we hope to be able to do something similar in the years to come because we just had such a great time getting to meet a bunch of you. So we will keep you guys posted on the next time that we will be in the States, but other than that, we will catch you guys next Thursday. Have a good one.